series, and now I'm going to be talking a little bit about what an essential oil is. So there's a pretty clear distinction that I can make for you. An essential oil is not a fatty oil like something that you would cook with, like an olive oil, for example. An essential oil is actually a very volatile oil, and when I use the word volatile, think of its property to leap into the air. So when you open a bottle of an essential oil, and I'll just use this oregano as an example, it's so volatile, it's so thin, the molecules are so potent, so many, so little that it just quickly leaps into the air, and just by doing that I can already smell the intensity of the oregano oil. So an essential oil is something that is not fatty like olive oil, not heavy like an olive oil, it's light. The molecules are very small, and it leaps into the air, and those are some of its initial properties. So an essential oil is also the life force of a plant. So we get our essential oils from shrubs, from plants, from flowers, from bark. There's a whole system that we get them from bushes, fruits, rinds, resins, and herbs. And so they're extracted differently through a distillation process or through resin tapping. So those are the different ways that you can get the essential oils, and there's a whole scientific thing when it comes to distilling oils. But if you're going to be using essential oils, it's really important that you understand the distillation process at some point. This video is not going to be about the distillation process, it's going to be about the essential oil itself. But you do want to know how the company that you're using is distilling their oils, because if there's even a slight 1 degree difference in the way an oil is distilled when it comes to temperature, it can dramatically affect the effectiveness of that oil. So there's one oil that if you just change the temperature by 1 degree, it goes from being like 100% effective all the way down to only being 11% effective. So you just at some point want to tap into that information and understand the distillation process. But so with this plant, this shrub, this, you know, whatever the source is that you're getting the oil from, the essential oil is the life force of that plant. So think about it as what the blood is to the human body is what the essential oil is to the plant. So when a plant is harmed, when it senses harm, when it's damaged or wounded, it's going to release and emit the essential oils to bring healing and protection and immunity and things like that to the plant. So that's the basic understanding of what they are. So in humans, essential oils provide a myriad of support to actually all of our systems in our body. So our skeletal system, our muscular system, our circulatory system, our endocrine system, our hormones, our respiratory system, and our immune system. Essential oils are great for brain health and to help support healthy weight. They're also scavengers, and they go, once they're in our body, they hunt free radicals, and we all know what free radicals can do. They can produce harmful disease in us. So essential oils actually are scavengers that will go in and hunt those free radicals down and just gobble them up. They also have a very high antioxidant count, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that later. And essential oils are actually very smart. So unlike a synthetic drug that's man-made, when you ingest a synthetic drug, it gets into your gut and it just destroys all bacteria because it can't tell the difference between good bacteria or bad bacteria. That's why, you know, when you take antibiotics, you often couple that with probiotics to repair you know, and replace the good bacteria that's going to be harmed by the synthetic drug. But an essential oil is smart enough to tell the difference. So an essential oil will go through your gut, it'll scavenge and hunt down all that bad bacteria, and it'll leave the good bacteria alone. So it's very beneficial that way. They're also so small, like I was talking about. You know, they can leap into the air quickly, but they're so small that they can penetrate the cell wall of a virus. So think about the last time that you didn't feel well, and maybe you went to the doctors because you just couldn't handle the cold or the sickness that you had, and the doctor said, "I'm so sorry, but you've got a virus and there's nothing I can give you." This is where something like an essential oil would prove greatly beneficial for you, because they can penetrate the wall of a virus, unlike synthetic drugs as well. So just a quick overview of an essential oil. They quickly penetrate the tissue of our skin because of their size. They contain some of the most powerful antioxidants as determined by the ORAC test developed at Tufts University. So I believe it's the wolfberry, which is a berry that is known to have one of the most highest counts of antioxidants that you can ingest through food. And I think it's something like 25,000 ORAC. Well, an essential oil has even more. So peppermint, which comes in the Young Living Starter Kit, has around a minimum of 1 million ORAC. So it's really crazy what the difference is for the antioxidant count. And we know, again, the antioxidants combat free radicals in our body, so they're really beneficial for us. Something else is that essential oils contain constituents which pass through the blood-brain barrier, and that's a very important thing. It's something I'm not going to go into great detail about, but the blood-brain barrier is the barrier that protects our brain from anything that gets into our blood that might be toxic or harmful for us, whether we inhale something or we ingest something that is toxic and not good for our bodies. Our brain actually has a barrier that protects our body from those things going directly to our brain, which would greatly alter our well-being. But an essential oil can leap right through the blood-brain barrier and go to the parts of our brain that need support and wellness and actually support us that way. So they can support the areas of our brain that produce and secrete hormones, the areas of our brain that control memories and emotions and different things like that. So it's quite astounding when you dig deeper into that side of the benefit of essential oils, what you can see happen in your own self because of that. And then lastly, we have 100 trillion cells in our body. So my body's made up of 100 trillion cells, and one drop of an essential oil has 40 million trillion molecules. So type in that number on Google, 40 million trillion, to see how many zeros that is, and that's how many molecules one drop of an essential oil has. So that means within 20 minutes of applying one drop of oil, all of the cells in your body will have 400,000 molecules of an essential oil in them. And I just think that's amazing. So the benefit of an oil, one drop per application, is really all you need. Not one drop a week like I used to think 3 years ago, but one drop every couple of hours throughout your day is really going to impact your overall health. So essential oils are also used extensively for emotions and spiritual support. An oil in a diffuser, which I have going right now, can soothe a child's tough day at work, and it can also calm an adult's day after a stressful day at work. They can be used as an alternative to toxic cleaning chemicals in your home. There's about 300 oils on Earth, but really you only need about 10 or 20 of them to build a really good kit. And just a word to the wise, you don't have to be an expert to use them. So in case I didn't say this in my introduction video, I'm not an expert. I am not an aromatherapist, but because of the wonderful information available on essential oils today and the wonderful group of people that I'm connected to that are using essential oils regularly, I have enough information I need to use them safely and with maximum benefit to support my family. So you don't have to be a professional. You don't need to feel that you do. So before we move on to the next section in the next video, I want you to just spend a little bit of time, and maybe you can comment something about this as well, thinking about the products that you use on your body, on your hair, on your children, on your pets, on your loved ones, maybe even at work, wherever you work. The products that you're using every day, that you're consuming, you're cleaning with, you're spraying on, all those different things. And I want you to think about whether or not any of those products that you use have the same benefits of essential oils, that what you just learned about essential oils and some of their properties and constituents. I'm going to guess that the answer is probably no, but just spend a little time thinking about that and comparing what are you using in your daily routine and what is the real impact that those products are having on you on an ongoing basis, and is it as nearly as beneficial as what an essential oil can provide. So That's video number 2. What is an essential oil? Now you know. It's not a fatty acid. It's a little amazing molecule that gets into every cell of your body and provides great support to every system that you have.